Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our test server and we are looking at the Fight of Fates. Now overall, I know there are a lot of players that absolutely love the Fight of Fates and the Battle of Blood. You can see the game mode is synchronized. Please turn off a couple different things. This is a game mode that is relatively easy to do on a daily basis. You want to make sure that you're going through and you are completing the quests in here and getting all of the points. Now this is on the test server. Unfortunately, for the last week, over a week, I have not been able to log in here. So when it comes to the challenges, guys, you can grind this out in a day. And what you're looking to get out of here is, of course, your Stargazer scrolls. There is some complimentary loot as you're going through. You can pick up kind of along the way. There are a couple chests in here. There are some common scrolls, which could be awakened heroes, but the Stargazer scrolls are what you're looking for. Now, on the daily side, it is the exact same, guys. You want to pick up this loot, looking to get the essence out of here, but also looking at this chest to get what you want out of here. Most of the players in here go for the red chest unless you do need poke coins. You can go ahead and build those out. Now, again, this is a game mode that a lot of players are not super in tune with. I want to go through and show you kind of what it is. So let's cancel this and we'll look at our card sets. So this kind of gives you a card game of sorts. So you have your 5 primary heroes right up here, and then you do have your cards on the bottom. You can switch these out. Now, the Vanguard is the hero that you are always going to start with. Very, very important to know that. And also there are some rules, as you can see, 2 3s. Now this, I believe, is relatively new. I don't remember this before, that you can see that there are some different damage dealt by allied heroes to maulers and hypogens are increased, and 3 of 3 damage dealt with the ultimate skill. So if you use the same heroes, that could be very interesting to see. And I know there are also always forbidden cards, guys. You can see we cannot use Geralt, Kanisa, and Rook. We cannot use Kayleen, Alna in here, which is very interesting because of that immunity aspect. And then, of course, we cannot use Brutus. And then Into the Fray, that was the card that everyone loved because it lets you actually drop another hero faster. And what essentially happened is if you got that first, you could get out a second hero. It made it a lot easier to get through. Then, of course, they just have the guide for this. But heroes, you know what? I'm just going to go with the faction. And as you can see, we don't have that many heroes in here because, again, it is the test server. But I'm wondering if like Matria might be worth it just for the simple fact that she is going to be resurrected. Zolrath, of course, is not going to have the delay in there, but Frampton might be. And then, of course, we can throw Aziz in there. And I'm just kind of playing around, guys. Again, you can mess around with a bunch of different formations and seeing exactly what you want to build in here. Now, with the cards, again, this is kind of your preference, I guess, is what I would kind of think of it. There are a couple like Monster Eradication. You can check out a couple and see what they do. They kind of say in the bottom, like buff restore. If you click, I believe if you hold the card, there we go. So it does restores health, removes all debuffs. So if you have debuffs and you want to restore health, this is what you're going to. A lot of players will go for the more expensive cards. A lot of players will just go in here. Negate healing is pretty cool. The gem purger is pretty cool, so they can't use it. Or you can go straight up damage like the crushing hammer, and that almost looks like that is Rem's crushing hammer in there, which again is pretty cool, dealing damage to 45% of max health. That's a pretty big buff in there. Ice Prison, of course, you can control them. You can go through and see exactly what you want to build based on the cards. And then once you go in there we have our set. You can challenge. Rocksta is killing it in here, guys, in second. Now, there isn't a benefit to play this. Now, again, a lot of players do play this just for the fun part of it. And you can see this is actually an NPC. I'm not even sure how well or if Matria is going to work. But you can see, guys, we have the buff right up here. When the third ally Hypogen hero is deployed, they leech an additional 10% attack rating. We can do something like pop this. Again, this mode is buggy. It has always been buggy, guys. There is Frampton. I wanted to see that didn't give us our buff. We need one more. And of course, we have Crushing Hammer up. But there we go. We do have Aziz. If you click a card, you can see it does slow down combat. Because again, it's pretty buggy overall. This game mode has always been pretty buggy. And there we go. We picked up when the third allied hypo is deployed, which we did pick up. We got the bonuses in there. Into the Fray, putting out a hero, which is interesting because that's one of the forbidden cards that we cannot use. But you can see we still did it in here to get our 16 points. Now, again, this completes some of the daily quests. This will eventually complete the challenge quests overall. But it's a fun game mode to play against other heroes. I believe you can still spar after this match. I will check it out, but you can see, guys, this is just another NPC in here, and they're running Wilders, so they are going to have the ability to buff up a bunch of Wilders. Forbidden Recharge prevents from recovering Gems of Dawn, but we can Ice Prison. It's pretty cool how you can do this. This game mode, same with the Battle of Blood, it never seemed like it took off very well. That's kind of one of the problems with it. Again, I know there are players that do like it. So what is this? Taunt all here, or taunt all allies. There we go. So Frampton's going to taunt everybody. And then, of course, Lucretia is horrible in here because you cannot have when your heroes die. It might work a little bit, but overall, again, this game mode kind of easy to go through. Just takes time. If you lose the battle, if you're defeated in a battle, again, doesn't really have a huge impact in here because your rating can go kind of up and down. But what you're looking to do is actually win the battles themselves. As you can see right there, guys, that gave us all of our dailies, even win 2. So complete 10 battles. Doesn't say you have to win the battles. This is the only one that you have to achieve and win the victories. But you can see 1,400, 1,500, even going above 1,500 doesn't really make a big difference. You can grind this out the day that this drops. And like I was saying earlier, fortune chests, you can get them from the guildies, but it is split between all of your guildies. And then, of course, you can spar other players. It's pretty cool to actually hop in here with your friends and being able to spar. We did this the couple times we did the live stream. We actually hopped on here and we sparred a couple other heroes. But the players have to be there. So literally, if they're not in this game mode, I believe it will still prompt for the sparring. You're not going to be able to, short of talking them. They need other players that are just able to spar or that want to spar. It would be really cool to see. And I'm wondering if VK just popped in there, if we're going to be able to actually spar a player in here. Because again, this, I believe, only uses your friends list, which is kind of crappy, but overall, this is usually what happens, guys. If they happen to not be on the same game mode or in the same place or in combat or whatever, I believe you can still spar within the game mode. And unfortunately, you're not going to get anything. So most importantly, guys, go in there, pick up your loot. Once I go in there and I get my Stargazer scrolls, that's it. I don't go and I don't play within the Fight of Fates. I thought they had at one time, and I thought they had like a little tag for the bottom. I might be mistaken, but I don't even think it has anything in there. So again, players that are pushing 16, 1700, if you love the game mode, go ahead and play it. If not, just hop in there, grab your loot. But guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Fight of Fates. And as always, thank you guys for watching.